My definition of poverty is somebody who struggles to afford basic needs.
Yeah, I do think we have poverty in East Lothian, and it would be like children not going to school with enough food.
There are families or people who are less fortunate than others and don't have enough money or maybe enough food.
Not having enough money to support yourself.
When people are like living in horrible conditions that are like
or maybe don't have like enough money to support themselves.
Lack of money. It's where people they have like minimum money and can't like support themselves.
I don't think there's severe poverty in East Lothian, but maybe some people who are first world like poverty stuff who can like afford like iPhones and stuff, but maybe not enough for maybe like mortgages for houses or like food.
I don't see many people with not much money, but they have enough to just survive.
I think the Breakfast Club has a lot of really, really good positive aspects to it. I think the fact that it gets kids coming along and chatting to different people.
The Breakfast Club was started in May 2014 by a group of fifth years who were involved in a group called Peace Jam. They decided that the project would be a breakfast club to try and bridge the gap between S1s and S5s.
We know that there's a big problem and not everyone has breakfast in the morning. Obviously a very, very important meal and it gets you ready for the day. So to get people just eating breakfast in the morning, to get them ready for learning, and if people maybe get buses in it's a bit early for them in the morning, they can come in and get something here.
It was the Rotary Club of Dunbar that said, why don't you approach Asda and see if they'll get involved in a community initiative. Asda said, yeah, we will fund your breakfast club up to £20 worth of food per week.
And we've started to do bacon rolls, and since we started to do bacon rolls, obviously like it's got so much busier. They say that you can smell the bacon.
Pupils are made aware that in some circumstances they could get a free breakfast at the Breakfast Club. I don't mind just now.
So you're not hungry all day and you've got food in your belly.
If you're in classes and you're hungry, you kind of get distracted. I think it's a good way to start the day, and if you come in and get your bacon roll and then you feel like you can go at all the other classes ready.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it helps you concentrate when you're in your classes.
It really helps me to start my day, you know, it puts me in a good mood.
A breaking butter in the morning helps you get up for the day, doesn't it? Yeah.
Just helps you get ready for the day.
Bailey, and I care for my mum and big sister. Money's such a tight thing, it's such a struggle, and it's always at a certain time of year, and it's always roughly Christmas time, or sometimes it's even birthdays. The school never really supported me until we had a meeting, and that's when they got a full understanding, and that's when I was referred to East Lothian Young Carers. It's really hard when I was at school, because you were going to school and you were worrying constantly, or you weren't going to school because you had to be off to care for my mum, or I had to care for my sister. I hope that I can become what I've always wanted to become as a nurse and care for people that need it. The school did not understand at all, and they probably still to this day didn't understand how hard it is for a person that's a young carer to keep up with their education. If you need full-time care, then you're going to have to go to the GP and you're going to have to ask them what is the best care supplier out there, and if they can't tell you, then you can go into the council offices and they can supply you with care. I have a lot of support in my house. As much as I'm a carer, I'm also given a lot of support. So that as well helps encourage me to keep going and keep wanting to go for my nursing course at college.
Dunbar Grammar in the last 2 years have been putting on more employability type courses,
and working with looking at doing apprenticeships. We've got a group of students going out just now to the Ridge project, which is a redevelopment project in Dunbar.
Today we're working on site for the Ridge, an organisation based in Dunbar. We've got some guys from the Dunbar Grammar School here helping us to chop down the sycamore tree, also to give them a good sort of positive working experience again, something that's a little bit different from kind of classroom based learning. Quite difficult at the start, but as the course goes down, so they've developed a lot of new skills. It gives them the opportunity to get a working reference from us on site, so that were they to go for a job or a college course or something after this.
Normally there's 4 kids, we only got 3 today, but they're really good kids. The school has some difficulties with them, so we take them on here today and teach them about the working environment. And today we're taking down the tree, so that's about a tree felling. General day-to-day skills that any landscaper or gardener would need. So that way they have a boost out of school. They'll have more social interactive skills with their employer, for example, because they don't really know how to treat employers as such. So we give them more respect and we demand more respect from them. What they can take away from this as well is actually proper work experience. They get a more hands-on approach to what they will do in life after as well.
As young people get older, living in East Lothian is quite a rural county, and for young people living particularly in areas where public transport isn't so great, it's hard for young people living in a family where there isn't a lot of extra money to be able to afford bus fares, train fares, to be able to have the resources and the equipment to feel part of the bigger community when they're approaching college or employment. So young people often struggle to afford driving lessons, to afford the technical equipment, to afford the college books, the sorts of issues and resources that we take for granted in many families. So for young people moving on through school into employment, those are some of the challenges that children who are affected by low family income face, where others maybe don't. Very strong approach in East Lothian at trying to work together to address the challenges that children and families face around living in poverty. That starts off in the work that we do in early years, working with very young children and their families to help families particularly, parents particularly, appreciate just how important it is to give children the best start in life. Role modelling for their children, giving children access and exposure to great opportunities to develop their learning and their approach to learning from a very young age. And that's about setting aspiration and hope for many young people. As children get older, one of the key challenges for us in partnership is about creating the best curriculum for excellence that we can for children, about offering the broadest scope and spectrum of learning opportunities through their school years, helping them to achieve the positive destination that takes them into, hopefully, an outcome from school that sees them capable of developing into employment straight away or training straight away or further academic study.